Hey, everybody. Today is that day. You know what that means. It's time for another Sarcastic Distractions. And as always, being presented to you by the Gentleman Society of Podcasting. As always, my name is Harvey. And joined with me today is my heterosexual life mate, David Shergold,
How's
and
it going?
the ever loving AJ.
That's me.
And we're lucky that. And we're joined by a special guest today. We're here with Nikki Marsh, AJ's better half.
That's her.
And that's her. Say hi, Nikki.
Hi, guys.
And what we're here to discuss today is one of our favorite topics, which is Star Wars. I think it's fair to say, and I'm not overstepping bounds by saying that AJ, myself, and Dave have been lifelong fans of sci-fi and therefore as an extension of Star Wars, to the point where, well, we've all had many, many, many now drunken conversations about the nuances of Star Wars and the movies and whatnot. And now that The Mandalorian is such a big deal, it's kind of been, rekindled our fame. Now, an interesting thing about Nikki is how much of the Star Wars movies have you seen?
Well, I've seen 6 of them for sure now. I've never seen the latest 2. I've seen Force Awakens once, and the other 6 I've just recently refreshed myself on, as I don't think I ever really sat down and paid attention from start to finish ever.
So this is really like your first account of going through the chronology of Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
In its entirety for the first time. So literally, that's what our episode's about today, is a first account of Star Wars from Miss Nikki. So, first question I got, what'd you think?
You guys might not like this, but I actually enjoyed the first 3 movies.
Now, by first 3, you mean episodes 1, 2, and 3, not
yes,
4, 5, and 6. We're going numerical order, I guess, not order of release.
Yes,
that's important to note.
Yes, so I watched episode 1, 2, and 3 first, the way I feel it should be watched. But I like to know stories, so that's why I think those should be watched first.
Yeah, so AJ, you take the lead on this. Break down what we're going to do here and how this is going to work.
All right, so Bing Bong.
Bing Bong Bing.
I don't know who Bing Bonged, but I think that wasn't me. That's okay. So yeah, we're what we're doing here is we're going to do a 3-part series. We're going to do our own little saga, I guess you'd call it. Today we're going to talk about episodes 1, 2, and 3. And we'll get Nikki's feedback, and obviously we'll get our opinions and questions and whatnot. And then the next episode will be 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and 9. So yeah, we're gonna have our own little trilogy, if you will.
Indeed, I want to say thank you, Nikki. That's a lot of hours to put in for our show. So thank you so much for doing that and discussing that with us here. That's pretty cool of you.
I wish I could, jump back into the closet and not talk about how nerdy I am, but trust me, this is definitely something I probably would have done anyway. Let's be honest. I do like my sci-fi as well.
Fantastic.
So let's we can do this quickly. How about Dave's opinions on episodes 1, 2, and 3?
Oh, we're going to jump right into that, are we?
Are we going to talk all 3 at once, or do you want to break them down by episode?
Okay, episode 1.
Right?
What did you think? What was episode? How did episode 1 make you feel, Dave and Chris? If you want to jump in, obviously.
They shouldn't have made it. So episode 1 is horrible. Yeah, so it's easy peasy, and in my opinion, the 2 and the 3 they barely reference. There's no Jar Jar except for a couple of Jar Jar is still kind of here. Like the overall story that in Phantom Menace was just that's my immediate response to the episode.
I'm pretty sure I went to see all of them in the theater there myself. I figured, I guess wishful thinking. I was hoping, the next one would be better, and the next one would be better, and yeah.
Yeah, I definitely did not. After Phantom Menace, I did not go see the other ones. Wait, I think I did see Revenge of the Sith, but I saw it on like Cheap Tuesday or something. I had to pay full price for.
Not to age anybody, but when Phantom Menace came out, I was 10.
Yeah.
So I did not wait in a line to see it when I was 10.
Oh my
But-
God.
Well, what did you think about it when you saw it when you were now?
When I was now,
You
honestly,
were-
I liked it, but I think it matters what story you're paying attention to. Like, I didn't pay too much attention to a lot of the battles and stuff that were happening, which obviously maybe that's a more of a feminine thing, but I paid a lot more attention to Anakin's actual story and his character growth.
Oh, that's why the movie is
Wow.
probably in like 10 minutes for you.
Well,
Cool.
general, I liked
Okay.
it. I did.
So you paid attention to Anakin's piece of it then. Well, I guess that's kind of, I mean, it could go two ways. Some people think it was Obi-Wan's story overall, but what did you like about that part of it, I guess?
I think it's because people say it's Obi's story, but is it really? Because it's about him finding Anakin, him trying to get Anakin into this whole Force world and to begin with, between him and Obi Qui-Gon or whatever. I'm horrible with names and you should- Qui-Gon. So I don't know. You should see how I have it written. But like I don't know. Like I felt that Anakin maybe I just liked his story better than I liked Obi's, and that's why it came to me.
You bring a
but-
good that's a good perspective, because I don't think I've ever watched episode 1 from Anakin's point of view, even though he's kind of peak piece. I think for me it felt, because of that, it felt a little shoehorned. But now that you're bringing this to light, maybe it'd be worth watching and thinking of him at the forefront rather than
if you think about it, C-3PO is in it because of him.
Yep.
He built him. The only way he gets released or anything is because of that whole, like, I get that the two Jedis that go there to Tatooine or Tatooine.
Tatooine. It's like a tattoo, but a ween, right? Tatooine.
What the fuck is a ween?
That's another podcast.
Did you like
altogether.
Jar Jar?
Was he your favorite?
He wasn't my favorite, but I don't hate him as much as you do.
Yeah. Jar Jar needed
And it's
to
not
not
Jar
to
Jar's
be.
fault. In full transparency, for my opinion, a big challenge I had with 1 was every 2 seconds they're going into another battle. Like after they go and Jar Jar decides to help them, they're now fighting big fish in an ocean. Like it's
You know what? That's a good point, because I found it very hard to follow what battles were happening where, because they had the battle happening on Naboo, and they also had the battle happening on the droid ship.
Yeah.
And like you said, and the Gungan people or whatever they're called there. So
Yeah.
it was hard to follow that, and that's where I started to kind of just rope that into the politic area of things and paid more attention to the character growth and the Force, I guess.
Yeah. What's interesting about the first 3, and we should definitely talk about the second one, but the first 3, this was all George Lucas's vision. Like this was all him.
all 3 of them are him. Yeah.
All 3 of them. Yeah.
All
He
3.
nobody wrote anything. Like this was the story that he wanted to tell after doing the other 3 20 plus years prior. So it's interesting that this is what he wanted to show the world when he had already built this.
Maybe if he let more
established
people,
talent.
maybe if he let more people write it, we would have had maybe 1 battle only instead of
Oh
5.
yes. Even I have to admit, this entire series, like, it's just battle, constant. All 3 of them.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate good storytelling.
Yeah.
It really does. Like,
Oh yeah.
let's move on to episode 2.
Yeah. So how did you feel about that one?
There was more lightsabers.
What? Yeah.
A
More
lot more.
lightsabers. A
Um,
hell of a lot more. Yeah.
Purple ones even.
so
That's right.
Yeah.
there-
Snakes on a spaceship was in that one.
right, yes. So I don't know, like this one. I'm trying to refresh my memory as well, because my memory's not the greatest when it comes to cinema. But so this is the one where the clone army comes into play, right? This is Attack of the Clones. This is the title of this one, right?
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
Okay.
Back of the clones.
So I liked it. Again, I followed the Anakin story very closely. In this one, you definitely see a lot. As an, I'm going to say as an individual, to not be sexist or being a mom versus a dad or anything, but oh my fucking God, did he have to kill kids?
Well, that was in the next one.
But it's...
Is it in this one? No, that was
Well,
in the next
he
one.
does.
it's
He does.
coming
Oh no,
later.
right, he does. You're right.
But
You're
the
right.
thing
He
is,
does
though,
the
kills everyone.
Sand People kids there. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tusken Raiders.
Yeah,
He does that
sorry.
later on. Yeah,
Sorry,
as he starts to go
not
to the
number
dark side.
Yes,
Yeah,
not
this-
the
you're
council
right,
in 3,
you're right,
but yeah. So that shocked me at first, and I was like, "Whoa!" And then I was like, "Now I'm even more intrigued by this character to see what the heck happens." Like, I knew he was Darth Vader because I've seen other movies and I know the storyline enough, but to now see him kind of drastically turn into that, like, because to me that was his first fall, really.
Oh, it was.
Was
I
when
agree.
he
It
went
was the
in.
first he actually did something evil. I even have it in my notes here. Like, if he had been able to show up and she wasn't dying, would he have ever actually become Vader?
If she
Yeah, would there
didn't,
even
That's
be
a
one?
good point. That's
if
actually
she
a good
didn't
question.
die, 100% he would not have been Vader.
Mhm.
If his mother lived, if he was able to save her and get her home and they were fine, I don't think that would have happened because that worry would have went away.
What
Yeah,
about
that's
the love story?
With Padme Abadubadubba.
Yeah. Like
Amidala.
I personally found it a little, I don't know, disturbing to a degree. Like, how old was she in the first one? He was
Yeah.
what, 8 or 9 or something like that. She had to have been 15 or 16 or something like that. So then we have
He was the leader.
10 years later. So he's what, 19, 20. So she's almost 30.
Probably in her early 30s is my guess. My favorite part, though, there is, Annie, you've grown. I know. About an hour later, oh, yes, he did.
So the romantic aspects of them, I thought it was kind of... I think it was the only way that George Lucas could figure out how to kind of give some form of other side to Anakin almost, because I don't understand why there's a love story really in it at all. Like, why does there have to be a love story in the movie?
Simply for the conclusion of the third movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because of that. Like, where did... Yeah. But...
I mean,
I don't know. I don't think they... I don't find it as weird as you... To go off of that point of the age thing. Maybe because queens were married young.
But she wasn't a queen at that time. She was only a senator. She was a queen in the first one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And then she became a senator.
Yeah.
In the second one.
that's true.
I feel that if the gender roles were reversed, that wouldn't have been allowed to fly.
Oh, no.
Right? That's the
What?
other thing. Like, if Anakin was in his 30s and she was 16.
They get away with it because not everybody's thinking about how old they are.
It
Yeah.
would have
Because
been.
you're not talking
then
about
it
how
would
old
have
they are in the
been-
movies.
Then it would have been Star Wars episode Lolita.
We talked about how much of a powerful female image she is in this series. Like, in these 3, like,
Yeah.
she's amazing. Like, first of all, like, she just doesn't seem to want to take shit from anyone.
I'll give you
But-
the first 2. She's an amazing, doesn't take shit from everyone. And then I'll give you my opinion when we get to the Sith.
Go back to Django and the notorious horrible aim of a stormtrooper. Does that mean, was that genetic? Was he just a really shitty bounty hunter? Or like that's where my questions lie personally. Like, how bad of a bounty hunter was this guy for all of these subsequent clones, or is that just something that got screwed up in the cloning process?
Yeah,
Like,
somebody accidentally dropped a wrench.
Right? Somebody dropped their junior mint into the fucking pod there, and
I just think that when they're fucking hiring these mass armies or creating these mass armies, their forte's not good shooting skills. Because if you look at the droids, the androids, they weren't exactly great shots either. And these things are like, you'd think you'd program these things to take them out. And I mean, here's the reality: in the first 1, 2, and 3, the clone troopers were still better shots than the droids.
that's true.
Yeah, there was one. Yeah.
That's pretty messed up if you think about it, right?
Well, then that was a tech problem, I guess. Sighting in
Yeah.
sighting in the
Software
droids for
defect in the droids.
Maybe it's
proper-
the same developer that was a part of the drug program, part of the
it could
clone
be.
program.
It could be.
To kind of wrap episode 2 up, I thought it was kind of funny how you have Obi and Anakin, who are supposed to be these like almighty Jedis, and then they still have to come and get saved by other people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like,
That's true.
You still have to get saved by Yoda and Samuel L. Jackson, and like,
Yeah.
sorry,
Sake of argument, though, Yoda's. I mean,
Yoda's
the
Yoda,
shit.
Yoda
but
is Yoda. Yeah.
who's gonna?
Yeah, Yoda's
nobody
awesome.
does
This
that.
is this
but
is where we get Yoda fight, right? And at the after the whole when he meets Count Dooku there.
Count Dooku,
Yeah.
Dooku.
Is that Revenge or is that this one?
It
Yeah,
was
no,
at
they
the-
have their first battle in
They do have the
Attack of
first, the
Clones.
initial. That's right. They do. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
then Yoda
Yeah.
does all the crazy flippities all over.
Yeah,
Yoda
that's
and
right.
Stuff like
It's
that.
the first time Star Wars fans got a chance to see
Yoda fight.
Yoda fight. Yeah, and I
Which-
remember popping hard for that.
Oh yeah.
Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
The Sith.
Yes, Revenge of the Sith,
The
also
one-
known as.
Hey, at least it was James Earl Jones doing the voice, and it wasn't. What's his name?
Yes.
Hayden Christensen
Yeah.
trying to do stuff because I don't like when he does stuff.
I don't like what he does.
No, I don't like him. I think he was. I don't know if it was the writing or the way the actor played it, but just Anakin was a whiny bitch.
Yes.
I don't think it was the actor.
It was. Do you think it was the writing?
Because remember, I was saying even when we were watching them, I'm like, this kid is having way too many fucking tantrums. Like, somebody
Yeah.
needs to put this kid in a timeout.
Yeah.
Like, as much as like I loved following his story, I don't disagree. He needed a timeout. He needed to just freaking relax.
And Yoda.
He was a
tried.
brat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I found
He was a brat that people would kind of sort of say no, but then immediately give him what he wanted. Like that was
Right.
what I found funny. And you really did see it, in my opinion, Revenge of the Sith. No, you can't do that. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? If the Emperor, or he wasn't the Emperor yet, but if the Emperor told you you're supposed to join our meetings, okay. What? No.
Yeah, I know. And so, like, it's true too. It's hard to buy that he had this weird sense of entitlement that he got in episode 2, because like he was a kid that was a slave on Tatooine. You know, he's sharing the struggle with his single mom, who apparently, had immaculate conception.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that too. We missed that. Sorry.
yeah, well, yeah, but besides the point. But the thing is crazy to think that like now, because sure, he was handpicked by Qui-Gon to be a Jedi, but now he's got this sense of entitlement. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
You sure don't act like a poor kid from the dark side of the Outer Rim, you know?
Well, yeah, he kind of acts like I'm king shit, and I don't
Yeah.
care. And if I whine hard enough, you'll give me what I want anyway.
He proved that.
That's very where I started to call him a brat. Like I think this is the one where I started to be like, no, you're a brat and you need a timeout, because I really liked him in the first 2. Well, not loved him,
Yeah.
but like I liked him as a character. But in this one, I started to realize that, okay, you're just a little freaking bit. Like when he chokes out Padme.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That she's the reason that you are turning dark, because you think she's going to lose your babies, and yet you just
You're gonna
choke
choke
her out.
Yeah.
Choker, throw down. That's another of the things I didn't like about this one. Here we've had Padme 1 and 2, stands up for herself, kicks butt. In this one, she cries constantly. She's
That
always
too.
upset.
Now I
Like
know
that was another. Yeah.
She's pregnant though.
Now,
I mean,
I know pregnancy is
Turns out
tough.
she's pregnant. Yeah, I mean,
And Order 66 was kind of a wow moment for me, actually. I didn't realize, actually, the clones in the second one, I didn't realize that the clones initially were good guys.
okay.
Like, because
Oh.
when Obi found the army of clones in the second episode, technically they were not meant to be against the Jedi. They were for the Jedi.
Right, because it was
And then
what's his name, Cypher Diaz or something like
Right.
that, went and
Yep.
had them commissioned, and
Palpatine, Order 66, well, now we understand he's Sith, hence switching these guys to now kill the Jedi. So that, I
and
didn't
that's
know
what I
that.
loved about Palpatine, because he had both sides. He was running both sides. Palpatine was doing
Yeah.
both.
oh yeah,
Yeah, so that was a big shocker for me when all of a sudden 66 comes into play, and the whole scene with Anakin and who is it that?
Are we talking about this one?
Yeah,
That he went with
Right.
the with a clone troopers.
but who? Sorry. So
Oh,
when
yeah.
Palpatine starts going gray and all of that, is that Samuel L. Jackson that's doing that or Anakin? I can't remember.
He's reflecting because
The
one of the Sith
electricity back
powers is the
into him,
electricity.
That's Mace Windu, Sam Jackson.
So Samuel L. Jackson's like, motherfucker, and he like
Does it back?
does
Okay.
it back, and
I
that's
couldn't
what
remember who
deforms
was
him
in
and
what
stuff like that.
spot during that fight, but I know that that's where we lose Samuel L. Jackson because Anakin kills him.
Yeah.
And that's
Right.
and
Off
that's
his arm,
when he
kicked him out the window.
becomes
And that's when he's basically knighted as Darth Vader.
right.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
and
lack of a
then he
better word.
goes and
And that's when he's ordered to kill everybody at the temple, and that's where I cried. Him and his master battle, essentially.
Yeah.
Because Obi
Yeah.
is Anakin's
And then Obi-Wan
battle.
leaves him to burn to death, which still bugs me.
I know.
See, now what bothers me about that whole
But
thing is the entire time they're doing their little fight there, and they get to the end. It's like, well, I have the high ground. You're not going
Yeah.
to be able to do anything. But in the episode 1, Obi-Wan's hanging off the edge of a pit, and he does the flippy do and
Overall.
chops
Yep.
Darth Maul. So I feel like that was almost like a plot hole in a way. It's like, obviously having the high ground doesn't mean shit if you were able to defeat Darth Maul from the low ground.
Yeah.
So it was,
No,
it was,
that's
again,
a valid point
shoehorned,
too.
right? So
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah, and if
Let me ask Dave, why does it bother you that he was left? I mean, other than being a human being
And
and
he's still
having
alive.
feelings.
Yeah, like that was my big thing. Like Obi-Wan says, "Oh, he's upset," all these things. I get it, but like to me, if I was standing there as Obi-Wan and that had just all occurred, and I saw this kid that I've known for over 10 years, whatever, 13 years, seen him grow, I've trained him, been with him day in, day out, and he has no legs and he's burning to death, either A, we'll just take him out, or B, yank him up the hill, throw him in the ship, put him under Medicaid or whatever, and we're going to figure out what to do with you, but, whatever.
At least you're
He'd probably
saying
go
so.
down the beach. It's just the leaving him there while he's still alive. Like
After
oh,
that, it just
man.
wraps it up. Like Padme dies.
Movie's over.
Like, they wrapped it up so freaking quickly. Like, there was so much happening, and then all of a sudden they're just like, oh, we've got these babies. Oh, she died. Oh, he's becoming half machine. Oh, we're going to send her there, him there, and Yoda's going to disappear off in the fucking wilderness. Done.
Yep.
See you later.
4, 5, 6.
And that's why I think number 3, he could have taken these 3 movies and maybe taken some of 3 and like pushed it back. Like had 1
Spread
a
it
little
out
bit
a
more
little.
of a story, have 2 have a little bit more of the story, and have 3 have a little bit more, instead of having 1 as dry as it was, 2 as battle filled as it was, and then 3 just trying to tie up all the loose ends from all the other shit that he had in 1 and 2.
So I agree with all your issues. Only my thing is, and this is my big, what I would change, make it just a single prequel. Completely ignore the
Yeah.
first one, never create it. Take the next 2, take out a lot of the battle, a lot of the extra story we don't care about, and focus on what it is we all care about, which is the prequel of how Vader gets created.
Right.
Mhm.
So they could have, in my opinion, made a very good movie that had a prequel all about the growth of Vader, certainly throw the characters, throw battle in there, like we want to see action, but I really think it could have been done a far better way if it had gone down that path instead of what it was, in my opinion, which was the first one being a whole, hey, welcome back attempts and a lot of fails. And then the 2 and 3, a lot of fighting, a lot of shooting, a lot of blah, 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 which is good to see. But eventually, come on.
yeah.
I can agree with that. I think you're right. It would have been a really good as a single movie. I think we would have lost some characters. You probably would have lost Grievous and Maul.
And Jar Jar?
And probably.
Probably.
Yeah, like
Senator
you would have lost
Senator
a lot of those
Jar Jar
characters.
Binks?
Okay, yeah, that
Come
was
on.
weird too.
Come
That one was a
on.
little weird. I
Yeah.
was like, this guy can't speak freaking to save his goddamn life, and you're gonna just give him some title? Like,
As we're wrapping up here, Nikki, if you had to rank these 3 in best to worst, how would you rank them? That goes for everybody, but Nikki, please start us off.
oh dear, jeez. So my favorite of the 3, people might fight me on this one, but I'm gonna go with 1. I'm gonna go say that episode 1 may have been my favorite, just knowing where Anakin actually came from. But like, I don't know. It's a really hard
That's
question.
okay.
It's a hard question for
okay.
me because I love the Anakin story that I'm given throughout all three of them. I
So one's number
love
one.
following him in general to watch his whole fall.
Mhm.
It was really
So
cool.
one's number one, and then what's 2 and 3, like in your order?
It would probably be 3 and then 2. 2 would probably be my least favorite based on the fact that I don't feel there's a whole lot happening for Anakin other than the fact that he goes back to and does the whole thing with his mom and the Tusken Raiders. So
Cool.
2 had too much crap that I didn't really care for.
Sure. Wow. Well, you blew my mind there. Now, would it be fair to say that Anakin's your favorite character out of the Star Wars? Not Anakin, / Vader.
See, I would almost yes.
Because of how strong Yoda's character is, it's got us all excited for the baby Yoda character in The Mandalorian because, well, he's got to turn into something amazing, right?
Oh
So,
man, yeah, that baby, the whole baby Yoda thing. Like, I need to know where they come from, what the backstory is, why the hell are why is the age how it is?
Right.
Like, I need to know.
So many questions.
And we'll
so
get
many
there one day.
many Yoda questions. Yeah.
It's all good. Dave, same questions to you. I think I know where this is going because we've talked about this millions of times. But for the audience listening, rank your favorites out of these, or your rank these 3 movies, and your favorite character of the 1, 2, and 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 2, 3, 1. That's for me the way it goes. And Obi-Wan. Even in the original one, even though one's way worse, Obi-Wan with the little hair thing that he had in the back there, come on. He owned it.
His little rat
You
tail.
own it.
Yeah, the little rat tail.
All right,
And Chris, what are yours?
Well, I would probably. I want to break them up, but I'm just going to try to take the films as a whole. I'd probably say 3 and 2. So 3 is number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1 doesn't exist on my list.
Doesn't
but-
exist. Yeah.
I'm like,
It's not even on the radar.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
there.
kind of how I feel about it
I agree
too.
with that.
But I would also say that it's a toss-up for my favorite character between Obi-Wan and Palpatine. And really, aside from the performances as well, it's the consistency. Like, they are consistent to their characters all the way through, for the most part. And I'm sure when the internet's going to watch this, our tens of listeners are going to, like, bitch at us.
I think that this is awesome. I think maybe, I don't know. What do have your wives ever watched Star Wars? That's the question I should ask.
Well, great question. You want to start, Dave?
Yep, Shanna's actually watched. I don't know. I definitely the first one because we went out together to the theater, going from memory. 2 and 3 probably not so much, but 4, 5, 6 she has.
Nice.
And the more recent ones, I'm not sure actually. Even my kids are not fans of Star Wars.
Becca actually is a pretty big fan of Star Wars. We watch all of the movies at least once a year, usually to her request sometimes. And yeah, when we talk Star Wars and The Mandalorian, like I saw what Dave, have you seen The Mandalorian yet?
The first season.
Okay, I'm not gonna fuck off and go watch the second season. Just go
Yeah,
do it and acknowledge.
Come back
All
when
I
you
wanna
have,
say
okay?
is, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the moment everybody, whatever, like I recorded that reaction because of how raw and organic it was,
That's
and
awesome.
it just like it showed how much of a fan she really was, and that's just awesome.
That's
So
really cool.
we're all grateful that we have a sci-fi loving lives, which is awesome.
I was gonna say, all 3 of you are very lucky. It's not very often you'd ask this, like 3 people, and all 3 of them would have wives that have the
Seen and appreciated.
seen and appreciate. That's the difference, right? Seeing it's one thing, appreciating it is completely different. So, but I
It's
appreciate
2021.
them. I'm very excited. I think I'll actually rewatch 4, 5, and 6 another time before we meet again, just so that my knowledge is a bit fresher. But and then,
That's the one with
We'll-
Mr. Spock.
but yeah, I
We'll
still
definitely-
have yet to see 8 and 9. I actually have not watched them at all. So
Save it.
I'm going to. I'm going to give full raw. I'm not even going to make notes on that one. I'm just going to give full
Oh,
raw
wow.
review on that
Oh
one.
wow!
It'll be
You think we ripped on 1, 2, and 3? Wait till we get to 7, 8, 9.
Oh god. Just wait. Yeah. I don't know. My least favorite were the next 3, so we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, that'll be good. I'm excited to do these series. It's a lot of fun. I mean, any day we get a chance to talk about Star Wars is a good day. So,
Well,
hopefully life's pretty all right.
Hopefully, I didn't make you guys go over your usual length of time or anything too much. I do talk quite a bit, but
Don't worry about it. It's our podcast. We can do whatever we want. We're all good. So, until then,
Do what I
so as we're
want.
wrapping up here, I want to say thanks again, Nikki, for joining us today. You made this special.
Yes,
and,
thank you.
Appreciate sharing your insights. If people want to talk with you online, where can they find you?
I have 2 Instagram pages. I have a personal Instagram page. It's at Nikki.may89, or I have a creation Instagram page that I'm currently getting started called at Nikki May Makes, and Nikki is spelled Nikki.
Excellent. And thank you.
Neither
And
of them are OnlyFans accounts, right?
No, I am not an OnlyFan girl. I am not. I have Instagram and Facebook. That is it.
And MySpace.
not there yet.
And MySpace.
And MySpace.
I actually do have MySpace.
Oh, I should start a MySpace page again. That'd be great. Excellent.
It's not the same.
Well, thank you again. AJ, where can they find you online?
Well, you know, places. The dark web.
Okay.
Tor, you know, all that. No, you
Tor,
can find
nice.
you can find me playing. You
Wow.
can find me playing drums in the Mad Moxies. You can find us
Oh, shit.
on the YouTubes. You can find us on the Facebooks. You can find us on the Instagram.
Yeah, what he said.
You can actually find us on Spotify and Apple Music. Other than that, I would be hard pressed to even remember what the hell my handles are on Instagram and all
I
that
think
fun stuff.
Mad
your
Moxie's-
Twitter handles at drummer AJ_81.
I have a Twitter.
You have a Twitter.
Apparently, I have a Twitter. They didn't kick me off.
So AJ's Instagram handle is at drummer.aj, and our band Mad Moxies is at Mad Moxies Band.
Fantastic. And Dave, where can they reach you online?
Generally, you can reach me by AOM DOA, and they do the @Gmail. You do that through the Facebook, do that through the Twitter, and you can find me.
At AOM DOA. We'll have those links
Nope,
there.
AOM DOA, and
At
you can add
hotmail.com.
anything to it, you'll find me.
Exactly.
At MSN.
Well, I just want to say again, thanks everybody. This has been a great episode. And just a quick note: if you're watching this and you're paying attention, you like what we're doing, please let us know your comments. Even if you don't like it, let us know what you think. And also, just a mental note: if you're watching this, thanks, and you matter, and you are important, and we appreciate you spending time with us on your day. Until next time, this has been a Sarcastic Distraction. My name is Harvey with AJ, Nikki, and Dave. Have yourselves a killer night.
Au revoir now.
Bye-bye now.
Take it easy.
And that's a wrap, Jack.